What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with a lucky dip. This was a request a couple months ago, and this is a tune by Secret Machines, a group I'm not personally familiar with. A little poking around online suggests they're an American alternative rock band, or at least that's the most common categorization I've seen. And I think they were originally from Texas, but very quickly moved to New York, and I think there's been a bit of a lineup change. Like, I think they went into hiatus, and then when they came back, the lineup wasn't quite the same as the original group, but I think the original group featured two brothers. In any case, we're going to listen to a tune called First Wave Intact. So I like the phrasing, the idea of the cohesion of this first wave, be that a wave of experience or some external process or some internal impetus or motivation. Like, I feel like it's the kind of phrase that could apply on different levels and in different contexts. So it's like a sci-fi sounding name, or at least that's the way it hits my brain. In any case, let's give it a listen. This is Secret Machines and their tune First Wave Intact. I knew it was coming to that kind of an end. It's crazy, like especially the more it goes on, like the back half, and that's got to be like 8, 10 minutes, something like that. In fact, right in between, 9 minutes. So yeah, a journey of a tune, starting pretty simple, though even then, the percussion from the very beginning, it has oomph, it has force, the snare is hard, the kick drum is heavy, the bass when it comes in, sort of electrically brooding, sort of like electric smoke at the bottom of the track. And then there's these like frequencies, including those that are like very electric. Indeed, I was thinking like halfway through that it's like, I don't know if industrial is the right word. Like it's a bit that, but it's also, like being in an electrical storm. So, I don't know how reflective of their larger catalog this is, how anomalous it might be. Maybe it's one of a handful of stylings that they pursue in their different songs and albums. But yeah, again, a bit industrial, very electric, smoky, and the more it went on, the more cacophonous, the more, like a maelstrom of sound it became. And, that clearly was part of the experience, and the idea about, a wave coming and when will they come again, and, the wave seemingly being kind of like an external thing, which, the idea of, having to withstand waves and waves of some type of barrage, be it of, like physical onslaught or, aural transmissions. It feels like there's a bit of conceptual meaning there. But yeah, again, it just got more and more like being in a cyclone, and some of the sounds being echoed, and the overall feeling of like being like at the center of this impending doom, but not in a bad way. Like it was very noisy and intense, but again, not in a bad way, in a like a conceptual way. And the, again, like alternative rock, sure, but there's more than that going on here, or at least like as I would typically understand and use that phrase. So yeah, definitely a very intense tune. Lyrically, I caught some lines or some parts of lines, but I was so sort of immersed in the sonics that I'd have to hear it again. But like, as I said, the bits that I caught seemed to make it sound like the first wave is something external and something, of like power and intensity. And yeah, as I said, I enjoy the power of the percussion, I enjoy the progression of the tune, the intensification of the tune, and the way that it ends up just like continuing to spiral and spiral to the point where it essentially explodes, and then it just ends all at once. And as it was building in the last minute or so, I knew it was just going to end, as if everything just ended at once and just, slowly drifted back down to the ground. So yeah, a cool tune, and one that makes me curious about the rest of their catalog. So let me know what you think, and I will see you next time. Peace.